What is up, my friends? It is Thursday evening's Anfield Agenda news roundup, and you are all very welcome along. It might be the international break, but I have a lot of news to get through over the next few minutes. We're going to be discussing who else rejected Newcastle. We'll talk a little bit more about the now confirmed interest in Michael Olise. We'll give you some words from Mohamed Salah and a couple of other interesting bits and pieces that we think will keep you right up to date with where we are, well, heading into the middle of this international break. We do want to know your thoughts, so feel free to let me know in the comment section. Do drop a like on this video if you enjoy it. But if you glance towards the top corner of the screen, you will see that we are just 101 subscribers away from hitting 350,000 subscribers. We hope to do it tonight on tonight's late night agenda, which will be the last one until Monday. So I do hope you can join me tonight for a little bit of fun before I take a few days off. Right, let's get stuck into it. We're going to start off with, well, just a little bit of an example about quite how much money we spent and why we are a far bigger club than Newcastle. Sound good? Hear me out. So Transfer News Live posted to say Newcastle's entire club was bought for £350 million in 2021. Liverpool's transfer spend in the summer window was £412 million. Now, of course, that wasn't a net spend, but look, anything that we can do just to remind Newcastle of the levels here, I'm going to take the chance to do it. Let's speak a little bit now about Erik ten Hag for a second, because Bild put out some of the reasons why he was fired as Bayer Leverkusen's coach. Let's read this out and have a little chuckle together. The reasons Erik ten Hag was sacked by Bayer Leverkusen. He didn't get along with anybody at the club, not even his own staff that he had brought to Germany himself. The players didn't understand why doing push-ups was as important as doing ball work. The atmosphere within the club was extremely cold. The players had no idea what they were supposed to be doing during matches, and he is now considered the worst coach in the history of the club. Again, this is a Bild report, not a Craig opinion. Let me know your thoughts on that one. So, Hugo Ekitike and Dominik Szoboszlai have both been nominated for the Premier League Player of the Month award for August, and good recognition for a great month there for both those gents. So, wishing them the very best. Hopefully one of our boys gets the award. Now let's talk about Lewis Steele, who said, "It can be revealed that Liverpool have a pre-existing agreement in place with Kwanzaa over the terms of a future contract should they decide to use their buyback clause that was inserted when he was sold to Bayer Leverkusen. They like him a lot," said Lewis Steele, "and only sold him because it seemed like good money and the Englishman wanted to play every week, something Arne Slot could not promise him. By no means set in stone, but Kwanzaa could be an option to return. We think the price is about €60 million to trigger that, or just about £51 million. Also from Lewis Steele, he said, Liverpool want a long-term Mohamed Salah replacement in the next summer or two, and early noises are that Michael Olise could be right at the very top of Liverpool's shopping list. We can't say too much more than that yet, but he said could be one to watch. Now, of course, we know that the Bayern Space account, who we've given a lot of credit to here over the past month or two, has been saying this as well. Lewis Steele, again, his source is saying similar, so do keep an eye on Michael Olise because he could be that guy. Alexander Isak, again sticking with Lewis Steele here, said the plan for him is to train with his new Liverpool teammates when they report back for duty at the AXA Training Centre next Thursday, and I would expect to see him on the bench at Turf Moor for the game against Burnley, providing there are no issues. We're all excited and waiting to see Alexander Isak in his first Liverpool appearance. So will that be at Turf Moor? Well, the clock's ticking, but fingers crossed it will be. Right, again, on Mark Gay, this is what Lewis Steele had to say. Yes, I asked this question to many sources, whether Liverpool would go back in for Mark Gay or not, on Monday evening, and the word back was that they still really like him and want Mark Gay to play for them. As far as I'm aware, the Reds are plotting another move for Gay in the near future, and they would probably get an even bigger discount. But of course, they'd want to, because there's no way Parish and Crystal Palace should be rewarded with another £35 million fee in January. It's got to be substantially lower. Mohamed Salah has been speaking about trying to get used to playing with some of his new teammates, and he said, I knew where to start with my movements for Diogo or Darwin. I know where to find him. I knew their game very well. And with Hugo, he's still new. Sometimes I need the ball in the field. Sometimes I need it in space. We tried to figure it out through the training sessions or the videos the manager shows us. So we'll figure it out soon, and also it's going to help me grow my game as well. And that is important here, right? These guys do have to get used to each other's little intricacies, their movements, their body language, and the more that they get recognised or used to, the better for everybody. So let's talk about Parma now, and who turned down Newcastle? Sorry, it's a long list, isn't it? What defender turned down No, still quite a long list, actually, now that I think about it. What Italian defender? We're probably still a little bit of a list here. Right, what Parma defender, or former Parma defender, turned down Newcastle? You can see where I'm going with this one, can't you? So, Parma turned down a better offer from Newcastle for Giovanni Leone this summer before allowing the defender to realise his dream move to Liverpool. Leone made the switch in a £26 million transfer last month. The 18-year-old emerged as one of the most highly valued young centre-backs in Europe after an impressive campaign with the Serie A outfit Parma. This piece, by the way, in the Echo. But the club's chief executive, Fernando Cherubini, has revealed Leone's desire to move to the Premier League champions ultimately proved decisive despite the interest from Newcastle. This is what he said. I've always said we wanted to keep him, and he's always said he'd be happy to stay here. We even turned down an offer from Newcastle, which was more advantageous than the one Liverpool eventually made. When the Reds came forward, our plans changed, both because the offer was very attractive and because the boy made it clear he was very happy to take advantage of this opportunity. On the other hand, it's disappointing to lose such a promising young player, but we're proud to have him, believed in him, and in unsuspecting terms and times when he'd only played a few games in Serie B. So again, that's another one that Newcastle fans can add to the list of rejection. It's okay though, because you did pay 55 million quid for Johan Visa, so everything's good. Right, let's move on. Mohamed Salah speaking about young Rio Engamoa and the advice he gave him, which by the way I think is absolutely spot on, so well done Mo on this one. Let me know if you agree, by the way. So Mo, speaking about Rio, said, I told Rio after the game, the Newcastle game, just leave the social media alone. You can be happy about the goal with your family, with your friends, but don't really get engaged and just get your appreciation from outside world, because it's always going to be fake. You're always going to try to seek that. I think he's spot on. I think that is wonderful, wonderful advice. Look, I'm no professional footballer. It might surprise you to learn. But even at that, you can easily get caught up in looking for either vindication or looking for acceptance on social media, or looking for people to back up your views or your beliefs. So I like that advice from Mo, and I think Rio would be very well served to listen. Next up, I want to talk about some of the money Liverpool have brought in this summer from academy players. So Trent brought in £8.4 million, Kelleher £18 million, Nat Phillips £3 million, Jarell Kwanzaa £30 million, Tyler Morton 13, and Ben Doak 25. As you can see, that's a lot of money gone through there from players that Liverpool have sold that were academy players at one point this summer. Absolutely top business there from the Reds, and that of course helped with the summer transfer window. So last thing before we finish up, Cody Gakpo confirmed that Bayern Munich approached him this summer. He said, from what I understand, they did come. I already told the club that I'm happy, that my family is happy in England. We feel at home, and that's very important. So we will have a little bit on the future of Ibrahim Konate tonight in the late night agenda, so do join us for that. And just before I finish up, actually, this just dropped in my inbox. Ben Spolchak has posted to say, Trainee only played as a left back for England's under-19s this week, completing 93% passes in the game, winning 2 out of 3 ground duels. That is very, very good. And again, great versatility showed by Trey. And keep an eye on Bence's account as well. Bence is part of the Anfield Watch family and a very good aspiring young journalist. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from me for now. But remember, tonight, 8:45, the last late night agenda until Monday. So I hope you can come and have a bit of fun with me. Appreciate your support as always. And we will see you guys tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda. We'll talk then. Take care. Bye-bye.